I'm Rebecca, and I am really excited for today's video. Your girl's got notes, okay? I want to start off by saying thank you so much for the support on my last video. It was a heavy one. I don't want to talk about it too much. You know, it's a heavy topic. Thank you to each and every one of you who took the time out of your day to watch. Also, we hit 100 views in 24 hours. That was crazy. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, I don't want to think about it too much because it feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders and I can really just leave a really dark chapter of my history in the past, you know? Hello, I forgot to shout someone out. I forgot to shout out a commenter, so I wanted to shout out Registered to Comment today. They just left a really nice comment defending me and defending abuse victims to this guy who was basically just defending pedophiles in my comments and mocking us. He had to resort to making fun of the way we look and say that we talk like children or something, because he didn't have any actual arguments to make, and I was just really grateful to this person for standing up to that jerk with me. But yeah, thank you, Registered to Comment, for being so kind. Okay, on with the video. Ow. I'm trying to turn the slap into a poke, you guys. I'm not trying to shade YouTubers, okay? I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody, but I have not seen what I would consider a sufficient amount of videos on this topic. Iron is so important to get, and I didn't know this, but okay, so get this. Men 19 and up need to get 8 milligrams of iron per day, okay? 8 milligrams. Women 51 and up, they only need like 8 milligrams a day. I assume that also implies that you're not bleeding anymore, because everyone hits menopause at different times, but I assume when the bleeding stops, you don't need to get so much iron anymore. But women, 19 to 50, aka menstruating women, need 18 milligrams of iron. That's more than double what everyone else needs. I have had so many friends, strangers, loved ones, family members who are interested in veganism or reducing their consumption of animal products, which I'm just like, oh, thank you, Jesus. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, where do I get iron? Hello again. I wanted to throw in here just these little stats real quick. In America, I'm pretty sure these are American stats, about 2% of adult men have iron deficiency, 9 to 12% of non-Hispanic white women have iron deficiency, and nearly 20% of Black and Mexican American women have iron deficiency. So it is very important. No surprise to me that people of color are suffering from the highest numbers of nutrient deficiencies. That's the society we live in right now. Like, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised anymore, you know? So here are some symptoms from, granted, Mayo Clinic. Okay, so don't take this as like definite 100% accuracy. Okay, it's internet info, but the symptoms listed here on Mayo Clinic of iron deficiency are extreme fatigue, weakness, pale skin, chest pain, fast heartbeat or shortness of breath, headache, dizziness or lightheadedness, cold hands and feet, inflammation or soreness of your tongue, brittle nails, unusual cravings for non-nutritive substances such as ice, dirt, or starch, poor appetite, especially in infants and children with iron deficiency anemia. So obviously, if you're experiencing enough of these symptoms that you think you might be deficient in iron, I would definitely recommend doing your best to go see a doctor. If for some reason you can't, you know, you could always just try incorporating a lot of these foods into your diet. I talk about supplements towards the end too. So, ta-da! So as you can see, it's very important for women to get enough iron. I mean, everybody, of course, but it's way harder for women specifically to get enough iron. And now here's the kicker. Vegans should try to get at least about 1.5 times the RDA, the recommended daily allowance, of iron because of absorption. Because plant iron is not absorbed as easily as heme iron. But here's the thing, heme iron is bad for you. Oh man, I forgot how much I was gonna have to research and I didn't write it down on my notes. Back to Future Becca. This study, like the other things I'm citing, is gonna be listed below in the description, but basically it just says that nitrate intake and heme iron intake from red meat are associated with increased risk of all-cause mortality. Nitrates are worse than heme iron, but heme iron had between 20.9 and 24.1% increase of all-cause mortality. That's almost 25%. I'm gonna say no to heme iron. So even though it's a little harder to absorb plant iron, it's overall the best option, and it's the healthiest option. You know, whole foods, plant-based diet, only diet shown to reverse heart disease, all that stuff. It's a healthy diet for a variety of reasons. Good for the environment, animals. You don't want to eat baby animals that are tortured and scared, you know? Ew, gross. I'm gonna go into depth here, and I'm going to give you a comprehensive list of different foods and what their average iron content is per serving, and this is what I'm really excited about. I think this is the most comprehensive guide to getting iron on a vegan diet, okay? Because then I'm going to have listed the most eco-friendly way to get all these products, the most affordable and or accessible way to get all these products, and the quickest and easiest way to get all these products, because we all have different ways we want to eat and live our lives. And you know, I try, when I go out and buy drinks, I try to get only glass and metal containers so that they're recyclable, but I also still buy single serving rice packs because they're so easy sometimes, you know. And sometimes if I don't have something quick and easy to eat, I'll just go without eating, and that's not okay. And until I get over that bad habit, I need to make sure that I get enough food in my diet. You know what I mean? So I want to give you different ways that you can get these foods into your diet, as well as the details on the foods themselves. With that said, let's get started. Oh my gosh, fucking Tourette's. It escaped. Y'all, I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep smoking in my videos, but here's the thing. As part of who I am, I want to chill here and talk with you, take this time to smoke a little without getting too baked to film. You know, I'm not trying to get like lit, I'm just trying to get like baked on my Sunday morning, basically. So if you're a young child, I've said this before, I don't know what you're doing here, dude. I'm smoking weed, I'm saying bad words. What are you doing? Go play outside. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get off my lawn. All right, let's go. First little section here is basically legumes. Okay, so we have pinto beans at 10.2 milligrams per cup. Okay, that's a lot of iron. That's a high iron. That's one of the highest iron foods on this list, okay? Black beans, close in second with 9.7 milligrams per cup. Lentils have 6.6 milligrams per cup. And green peas, a little more modestly, 2.1 milligrams per cup. But if you make like a batch of mac and cheese with a cup of peas in there, like, that sounds delicious. Mwah. I know that's also probably some white people shit, but you know what? Maybe go outside your comfort zone, guys, and combine fusion. Combine different foods that you like in ways that you wouldn't think of, and a lot of times it's good if you know what you like. So the most eco-friendly way that you're gonna get legumes is just gonna be bulk. Another really eco-friendly option would be to get canned sweet peas. You know, because metal is one of, if not the easiest to recycle, one of the easiest materials to recycle. So if you can get metal, anything in metal, that's great. There's also companies that sell BPA-free cans, so if you're worried about that. Okay, the most affordable way that you're gonna get these things is plastic bulk, basically. Sometimes you can get it in like paper bags, but most likely you're gonna get like the dry beans, the dry lentils, the dry split peas. You're gonna get them in a plastic bag, but you can get like a big ass 10-pound bag of beans for like maybe $10. Like, shit's so cheap. So if you are someone who doesn't like doing too much, you can throw beans in a crock pot overnight, and then in the morning you have like a big batch of beans. You know, you can use it for meal prepping or whatever, so that's a really good option. That's affordable and accessible because that's what most stores are going to have. Like Walmart's definitely going to have that. Like Food City is definitely going to have that. The quickest and easiest way to get these things in is canned. And I suggest canned first because, again, it's better for the environment. You can get all of these things canned at most grocery stores. It doesn't have to be a health food store or anything. Also frozen. Some places I've been seeing a lot of like frozen beans, actually, which they're okay. They come out a little dry for my taste, but if you wanted something really easy and for some reason you didn't want to do canned, there's frozen sometimes, but there's always frozen peas, obviously. So there's a lot of different ways you can get all these different foods. The next one is tofu, which, girl, get ready. You need 18, oh, actually, I forgot to tell you, you don't just need 18 milligrams a day. Forgot to say this, vegan men should be getting about 12 milligrams of iron per day, on average. Women, vegan women, should be getting around 27 milligrams per day. So tofu, you need 27 per day. Per cup, tofu has 13.2 milligrams of iron. That's whack. It's like every time you say something, someone just comes along and just walks away. It's like, all right. But it's me doing it. The most eco-friendly way that you're gonna get tofu is if you have access to, most likely an Asian market, they often have bulk packageless tofu. And you can get it for a relatively cheaper price a lot of the time that way too. The most affordable and accessible way you're gonna get tofu is just cold in one of those plastic packs. They also have shelf-stable tofus. They're normally softer texture if you wanted it in like soup or noodles. I love it in soup. Tofu noodle soup. Tofu noodle soup, do you hear me? And then the quickest and easiest way that I put on here was to go eat out. You know, if you're in a pinch and you need iron, go get some tofu from an Asian restaurant. You can get tofu from any Asian restaurant, I guarantee you. I've never been to an Asian restaurant that didn't have vegan options, didn't have tofu. Of course it's expensive, of course, but that's why it's the quick and easy option, not the affordable option. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier with beans, chickpeas, 4.7 milligrams per cup, and you can get them the same way that you can get the legumes. I don't know if chickpeas are a legume. So then we have nuts and seeds. I only wrote down seeds simply because all the nuts that I saw actually don't have a ton of iron. If you want to use nuts and seeds to get iron and you specifically want to focus on getting the highest amount of iron out of these nuts and seeds, it's gonna be seeds. It is. Hemp seeds have 0.8 milligrams per tablespoon. Flax seeds have 0.6 milligrams per tablespoon. And pumpkin seeds have, at the highest, 1.17 milligrams per tablespoon. So if you put like 3 to 4 tablespoons of nuts and seeds on oatmeal or yogurt, ice cream, like if you put it in a smoothie, okay, if you put it in a salad or in a saute, you know, if you put that much in, you're getting like a handful of milligrams of iron in that meal. Obviously, the most eco-friendly way is going to be bulk. Bring your own reusable bulk bag. A lot of times now they sell cloth reusable ones in the bulk sections of these stores. Get them raw too, because they'll be less processed. If you really want to take it back, you know, get the least processed ones so it took the least resources to create it. So the most affordable or accessible way to get nuts and seeds. Oh, I wrote bulk on here for affordable. As far as the most accessible way, plastic bags. It stinks, but like a lot of times you can get Ziploc bags. Kroger stores, okay, I don't know what all of them are called, but I'll list all the Kroger store names in right here so y'all can know. But Kroger is great about having vegan options as well as organic options. So I believe that their nuts, if I'm not mistaken, come in a resealable Ziploc bag. So you can use that to get produce in the future. You can use that to get bulk in the future for other stuff that you might have access to. Otherwise, just get the Terra plastic bag. Like if you need the nourishment, it's okay. The quickest and easiest way to get nuts and seeds is a snack pack. You know, if you want to just grab a couple packs at a gas station, or if you want to like buy boxes of like little packs to take to work with you or take to school with you, you know what I mean? It's harder to find seeds, but it's getting more popular. Sometimes you can find like a trail mix with the ingredients that you want, you know? All right, now on to greens. This is the one that most people do know about. Interestingly though, it doesn't have as high of iron content as the legumes. We have in first place spinach at 5.4 milligrams per cup. The thing about spinach though is it has, I don't know too much about this, but I'll link a video here. It's a little more in depth. But basically spinach has oxalates, I believe they're called, and it's just basically a toxin that comes from certain plants. If you're gonna be eating a lot of greens, don't just stick to spinach. Then we have Swiss chard at 3.6 milligrams per cup, kale at 3 milligrams per cup, and collard greens at 2.2 milligrams per cup. Yeah. I started cooking greens when I went vegan and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty delicious. I don't know, as a kid I thought they were kind of slimy, but you can always eat them in salads too. You can eat them on burgers, on tacos. So for greens, the most eco-friendly way to get them is obviously in the produce section. To get them loose, bring your own bag, of course, or reuse a plastic bag that you got in the past. Also, I don't know how I didn't think of this and write this down, grow your own greens. If you got a green thumb, girl, good for you. Good job. I'm proud of you. And greens are some of the easiest food plants to grow if I'm not mistaken. So I'm actually gonna try growing some kale in the spring. So the most affordable or accessible way to get it is just in plastic bags. You can also often find them in plastic boxes, but I always recommend use the bags because the lids are either shitty or they don't work anyways. Also, I wrote down here discounted bags for affordable. Specifically, a lot of times we'll see that they have like salad or greens or something marked down, and they're just gonna get thrown away anyways. Then at least it gets eaten first. The quickest and easiest way, which I also love using to get my greens in, honestly, because I'm not always great about it, is frozen. Get all the different greens mixes that you can frozen, dude. Oh my gosh, it's so easy. You just throw it into a stir fry. Tomato paste, I was actually shook. Oh my gosh. Tomato paste has 7.8 milligrams of iron per cup. Tomatoes actually have iron, but not significant amounts until it gets concentrated into specifically tomato paste. I never knew. So I'm actually, after researching for this video, I'm gonna start eating way more tomato paste, making my own sauces for things out of tomato paste. Oh! Unpeeled potatoes, unpeeled, have 3.2 milligrams per large potato. I'm really grateful that I always grew up just not peeling the potatoes because I always said it was healthy, but I didn't know it was iron in there. Okay, so the most eco-friendly way to get potatoes is obviously bulk, no bag, just grab, self-serve however many potatoes you want. That's really common and accessible as well, so I really recommend getting them that way. However, if you can't afford that, that's totally fine. Get a 5-pound bag, okay? It is a plastic bag, but again, you could reuse it for things. I wrote down on here instant potatoes, but now I'm realizing that they aren't gonna have the peel most likely, so maybe, I don't know, go get some unpeeled french fries. I say, my dad's done this a lot too, get a few potatoes, bake them in the oven, keep them wrapped, and then eat them over the next couple days. But yeah, it's kind of hard with potatoes. There's not like a super quick way other than just pre-preparing the potatoes typically. So then we have mushrooms. We're getting towards the end of the list here. We have white mushrooms at 2.7 milligrams per cup and oyster mushrooms at 5 milligrams per cup. That's pretty significant. Obviously, the most eco-friendly way to get mushrooms is to bring your own bag and get them bulk if they have them somewhere. The most affordable way is also probably gonna be bulk, honestly. I typically save a good amount of money getting them in bulk when the prices are right, of course. But the most accessible one, you're often gonna find them like in a little cardboard box, and they'll often have like plastic over it. The plastic's annoying. If you really want to wash off the saran wrap and reuse it, you can be very careful and do that. Honestly, I don't typically do that. I just try not to do too much plastic. You know, maybe I'll do that in the future. I don't know. Hopefully they'll have cardboard versus like styrofoam and then wrapped. If you can avoid the styrofoam, do avoid it. A lot of people think it's recyclable. I did for some reason. It's not. Styrofoam is not recyclable. Avoid styrofoam. And then the easiest way, quickest way that you're gonna be able to throw some mushrooms into a dish, get them frozen. Pretty much. A lot of grocery stores do have frozen mushrooms. Also, if you do want to buy them raw, you can just eat them raw. They're really good. I also, last night for the first time we cooked them in the air fryer. Oh my gosh. Dude, 3 minutes to preheat, like 6-7 minutes in the air fryer. We sprayed them down with a little olive oil and we just ate them like that. I sprinkled them with a little bit of salt. Oh, my mouth's watering. I love mushrooms. So then we have some like grains that are actually good for iron, which I didn't know that there were grains that were good for iron. You might have, I didn't though. So we have amaranth in the lead at 5.2 milligrams per cup. Then we have oats at 3.4 milligrams per cup. And then we have quinoa at 2.8 milligrams per cup. In regards to oats, I did want to mention real quick before I get into the other stuff, a good way to get oats in if you aren't a big fan of oatmeal. Oat milk. You won't get as much iron, but a lot of times plant milks are fortified with nutrients too. So same with half this stuff. I keep repeating myself. You probably know what I'm going to say the most eco-friendly option is for these. Bulk. Oats is going to be the easiest. Quinoa is getting easier and more accessible. Amaranth is not going to be as accessible. It's not as popular. The most affordable or accessible way you're going to get this stuff is in a cardboard box, often with like a stupid little plastic window, or in just a straight up plastic bag. The quickest and easiest way to get some of these things is in pre-cooked packs. Also, instant oatmeal falls under that category. It's not great, but it's cardboard and paper, so at least everything is biodegradable, you know. But yeah, there's just like with, I was talking about the pre-cooked rice packs, they also do it for quinoa a lot. And I've actually seen 1 or 2 for amaranth, if I'm not mistaken. So they are out there. Normally, again, at health food stores like Sprouts or Natural Grocers, Whole Foods, but Whole Foods is a ripoff and owned by Amazon, so don't shop there. I mean, if you do, it's fine. We can be friends. I just recommend you don't. So then we have olives. I was impressed by this. So olives have 6.5 milligrams of iron per cup. That's good, right? But here's the thing, you're likely not gonna eat a cup of mushrooms. That's gross. At least to me, that sounds nasty. I wrote down the tablespoon serving for these next couple ones too, because I was just like, not everyone's gonna eat a cup of that. So a tablespoon of olives, which is a tiny amount, okay? So we're going from cup too big, tablespoon too small, but it gives you a good range. So a tablespoon of olives has 0.4 milligrams. So it's a pretty good source of iron. It makes me, I don't love olives, but I like them. So I'm gonna get them on my pizzas from now on because I know that they taste all right, and most importantly, they have a good amount of iron. So luckily, olives are pretty easy to get eco-friendly. They typically come in a glass jar with a metal lid. Perfect. You can wash it and reuse it for years, or you can recycle it, but either way, it's the best option that you can get, and it's the most common one. It's actually one of the Smiths here in Santa Fe, the one a little further from my house. They have this, like, salad bar. It's basically like a deli salad kind of bar, and they have, like, marinated mushrooms, and they have olives, and they have, like, snacks. They have all these fancy cheeses, which obviously in the past I would have loved, but not now. But, you know, it's a pretty cool little spot. A lot of the stuff they have is vegan, and they have bulk olives there, and they're pretty delicious, too. So you can just get them, put them into your own reusable container, and then you're saving even less waste. Or, sorry, saving even more waste, creating less waste. The most affordable or accessible is, again, glass metal jar. Love that. Also plastic. And then the quickest and easiest way, they do sell snack packs. I've seen them around, again, often at health food stores. I used to work at a health food store. And then again, if you want to snack on olives throughout the day, just bring them in a jar to school. Bring them in a jar to work, dude. Like, just get the jar. It's better for the environment. Then we have mulberries at 2.6 milligrams per cup. That's 0.16 milligrams per tablespoon. I would eat like a quarter to half a cup at a time because they're tasty. but they're also kind of expensive, so it's not like the most accessible, but it is a good, I wanted to have at least 1 or 2 fruit things in here because a lot of these are like savory and I know a lot of people want sweet foods. Also raisins, I just remembered, I didn't put it on this list. Raisins are also a really good, cheaper, way more accessible sweet snack for iron. So obviously the most eco-friendly way to get mulberries would be fresh with no packaging. I don't know where people could get that. Maybe the UK. That's not accessible to me out here in New Mexico, USA, all right? I ain't never seen a mulberry in my life fresh. So affordable and accessible is gonna be dried, bagged, boxed. And the quickest and easiest way to get it is also gonna be dried and boxed or bagged, like raisins. And then our last item, woo! We made it! An hour of footage, baby! Hey, it's all good. We're gonna edit so much of it out. We got prune juice out here, last but not least, okay? Prune juice, 3 milligrams a cup. That's pretty good. The most eco-friendly way you're gonna get prune juice is going to be buying it in a glass jar with a metal lid. Obviously, the most affordable or accessible way to get it is just to get it in whatever packaging you can find it in at the cheapest price you can. The quickest and easiest way to get it, if you want to take it like on the go, if you want to give it to your kid, like give them juice boxes, okay? They come in juice boxes. I was like, there's no way they make prune juice boxes, but then I remember that old people drink it all the time. It actually used to be a thing. They do sell it in boxes, juice boxes, because tons of people drink it, just not millennials, I guess. I wanted to provide such a comprehensive list because I know people don't like certain things. And I want people to know how diverse the options are and that there are options for you if you're a little more picky of an eater. You know, there are places to get iron that you might not have thought of before. And so you can combine a lot of the lower amount ones. Like if I had spinach, kale, mushrooms, olives, quinoa, green peas, tofu, if I somehow combined all of that into a meal, which actually sounds pretty good, I'm so hungry, I mean, that is a high-ass iron meal. That's probably close to your daily. I'll put here, actually. Future Becca, thank you so much for doing all this calculating. I love you. Hope you're doing well, sis. It's totally possible to get enough iron. You just have to get a little creative and learn a little bit. But hopefully this video will teach you enough of what you need that you can, like, jot down the notes on what you need to know and then just go from there, you know? You might be thinking, I'm a really picky eater, I don't want to eat a lot of this. Well, lucky for you, they make supplements. They make daily multivitamins. I'm gonna go grab mine. Now, I'm a little confused saying this because this is a vegan daily multivitamin, but there's only 6 milligrams of iron in here, which, knowing that it's vegan, knowing that vegans need more iron, and that this is a women's supplement and that women need way more iron. I don't know if I'm going to recommend this one for iron specifically, but regardless, this is a really good daily multivitamin. Also, Floridix liquid iron is what I use. I'll put a picture of it here. It's really good. They also have, I'll put the picture here, Veg Life vegan iron pills, so there's that too. Those are a couple options, but there are other brands that also make liquid iron and vegan iron pills. And to close things off, surprise, guess what else you can use to get iron, dude? You're gonna be shook, or maybe not at all, but I was surprised. You ready? A cast iron skillet. This thing's so heavy. You could murder someone with this. I looked it up. This really is a thing. Cooking in a cast iron skillet can add significant, supplemental amounts of iron. Cook in a cast iron skillet. It's expensive, but it's worth investing in. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this helpful. Girls, I got you. If you want tips on going vegan or encouragement or questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. You might be the one who I shout out in my next video if it's my favorite comment too. My Instagram's gonna be linked in the description. So if you want to ask me questions there, you can too. I often reply. Don't try to slide into my DMs. I'm taken. Thank you. Thank you again for so much support on my channel recently. I'm already to 120 subscribers. It's so crazy. Every one of you, God bless you. Seriously. Oh my gosh, I'm praying to Jesus. for every single one of you right now that you just have a great day and that he showers you in blessings and happiness and good vibes and protection from bad vibes. I'ma go. I gotta get ready for Valentine's Day, honey. I got a lot to do. I don't know how to end videos. Thanks. Bye.